Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, how are you? I hope everyone will be fine. In the previous video, I have discussed about the basic structure of the C program, how it looks like C program, how we will write C program, right? So in this video, I'll talk about the data types in the C language. I'll describe today in this video why we need data types and what are data types, right? So before we know it, we take a real life example to know it, right? So we can imagine data type as a pot, right? Where we can store any content, right? Part is a real life example of a data type, right? So such as you want to store water in a pot, right? So you want to store 1 liter water in a pot. You need to 1 liter pot to store water in 1 liter pot, right? So if you want to store 2 liter water in a pot, then you need to 2 liter pot. So as like that, in the C language we need to store data, right? And data types define the quantity, how much data we want to store in the variable, right? In the C language there are three basic data types that are used in the C language. So let us we know it. So first one is that primary data type, and second one is that derived data type, and third one is that user data defined. So these are three data types that are used in the C language, right? So first one is that basic data types that are frequently used in our program, right? So these are predefined data types that are not used by the user defined data types. These are already predefined data types, right? So what are these? So in the primary data type that are frequently used in our programs, first one is that int, float, char, void and double. These are 5 data types, are predefined data types, right? So what are derived data types? Derived data types are, so as the name suggests, derived data types. Derived data types are that data types that are derived from the primary data types. So these are structured data types, union data types and pointer data types, right? So in the next, what are user data defined? User data type defined is that type def and enum. So these are user data defined, type def and enum, so, right? So type def data defines means that the user makes own data types by using int, float, these primary data types, so in this video I'll describe about the primary data types, right? So what are primary data types? First one primary data type is that int. What is int? Is data type that store the data of integer data types. What is int? Int means that integer. So what are data types? Why these data types are needed, right? So basically data stored in integer data types, right? Then why these data types are needed? For example, you want to store data. You want to store number only 1, right? So then you need only short int data types, right? If you want to store data maximum 1 character, then you need long int, right? So these are basically defines the capacity of data types, right? Because it takes 1 byte and it takes 4 bytes. So why are these? These data types makes our application more efficient, right? So in our application, if we need only 1 byte data to store, then we will take only short int. Then there is no need of take long int. It will slows down our application, and integer and int takes 2 bytes. Somewhere it is take 4 bytes, right? It depends on the machine, right? In some machines it takes 4 bytes. Basically in our books we read only 2 bytes, right? But it depends on the machine, right? So next thing is that the range of data types. What is the range of data types? For example, 1 we store in the 1, there it will store in the int data type, right? If we write 2, 4, 6, 7, it will store into the data types. So how much number that can store in the int data types, right? It is also completely depend on the machine, right? So it completely depends on the machine. If we use, it depends on the machine. We are using 16-bit machine, 32 bits machine, 64-bit machine, right? But in modern machines are 32 bits and 64 bits machine, right? So I'll tell about the what is the range of in the 16-bit array. Then the range of what will be range of the int data type in 16-bit machine. 32 7 6 8 2 7 6 7. It store the both values. Integer data types can store both values from from 32 from negative 32 7 6 8 to 32 7 6 7. So this is the range of int in 16-bit machine, right? So we can store values negative and positive, right? If we want to store only positive value, then what will be range? Then it will be range from 0 to, so then it will be these range, right? So from 0 to 65 535, that range we can store the numbers in the integer data types, right? So that integer data type is called signed int, right? Because it in which we can write also signed. So these are called signed int, and int also store negative and positive values. And this is the unsigned int, right? So these are two qualifiers in which we can store numbers, right? So next we will talk about the how we'll declare this data type and how we will print that numbers, right? So this is a simple program, right? You have to also declare here header files, right? That are include hash include studio dot h, hash include kunyu dot h, right? So here is int means is that we are declaring a variable that will hold the data int data types, right? So this is the int data type, and how will it print? By using %d format specifier that are used to print the data on the screen, right? This is the format specifier of the integer data types, right? So you have also looked at %u. So this is the also integer data types, but it is unsigned integer data types, right? If we print value, this format specifier only print the positive values, not signed value, not negative values, right? So and next we will talk about the float data types. What is float data type? In the integer we store data only numbers, but if we want to store data, if we want to store numbers or data in decimal point, right? If we want to store 34 24.10, right? So this is the decimal data types that are decimal data types. So float data types hold the decimal data types. So float data types hold the decimal. So float take 4 bytes in the memory, right? So float take 4 bytes in the memory, right? And float is also further two data types, right? Long and double. These are two data types, same as like that. We want to store range of maximum values, right? Then we'll take long, then we'll take double. It will take 4 bytes, it will take 8 bytes, and it will take 10 bytes, right? So if we want to store more numbers and far more accuracy, because it has precisions after the decimal points. I also describe what is the precision. So precision is that for more accuracy, right? The range of float data type is that 34e 38 to 34 38. So this is the exponent form, right? So this is the mantissa and this is the exponent form, right? So it is the range of range of float data types, right? So now I'll write a simple program to understand the float data types. So this is the simple program to understand the how we'll write float data types, right? The output will be as like that, right? So but we have written only one zero, but these are 6 zeros. That means float data type is 6 precisions, right? it, it have digits, 6 digits, right? So this is the more accuracy. So here any after decimal value, any value will be counted after the 6 digits, right? So if we want more accuracy, then we will use double data types, right? That is 14 precisions after decimal point, 14 digits, right? So if the any amount of the value comes between the 14 digits, that will be counted, right? So this is the more accuracy. So format specifier for the float is that percentage f, right? For double data types we will use percentage lf, right? So this is the format specifier of double, right? Double float, right? So and for long is that capital L and F. So this is the long float data types format specifier, right? And next we understand the char data types. What is char data type? Char data type is takes one byte in memory to store any character, any one character, any number, any one number, right? So we will use character data types, right? So in the character data types we can store only one digits, 1 4 5 8, any single quotation marks number, any single alphabet, any single special character, that will store character data types, right? And next, what is the range of the char data types? Range of char data type is that 128 negative to 127, right? So this is the signed range of the char data type, right? So this is the 16-bit machine, right? So it depends on the machine. This range on completely depend on the machines, right? So if we use 32-bit machine, then range will be different. Then range will be different, right? So if we use 64 bits machine, then range will be different, and it will be range large amount of the range, right? Because machine can store amount, 32-bit machine can store large amount of data, and 64-bit can store data from 32 bits, can store a large amount of data from 32 bits, right? So in positive value, right, from 0 to 255, right? So this is the range of the char data types. So let's we understand the how we'll declare char data types. If we want to store character data types, then we will have to in single quotation marks, right? And printf percentage %c, this is the data types, right? So percentage %c, that is used to print the values on the screen, right, by using format specifier percentage %c, right? So this is the pattern of char data types. So this is the pattern of, and next one is that void data types in primary data type. Void data type. Void mean is that nothing. It can store nothing values, right? So where we want to store nothing values, where we use void data types, right? But it is used not with variables. It is used with functions, user defined functions and main functions, right? So what is the purpose of this? So let's we understand it. So this is the body of main function, right? I have written main function with void main function. What is the meaning of void with main function, right? So its meaning is that after this is the statement. For example, this is the statements of the program. After the execution of the statement, we are in the last we will return the value of this main function. For example, you also write it mean? That's mean we will return value of this function that will be integer data types. Then we will have to write at the last any integer value, we can return this main function, right? So this is the purpose of the void. Then if we write void main, then we at the end of the execution will not return any value to this function, right? So this was about the primary data, all about the primary data types. In the next video I'll talk about the derived data types and user data defines, right? So if you find it helpful for you, then like and share and subscribe my YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, a lot of care of you.